all the taints. So Lord Buddha told us about how to remove all the taints, step process. So the restraint of all the taints, as mentioned in Sabbaswa Sutta of Majjhima Nikaya. So it tells us about the destruction of all the taints is for one who sees and one who knows. So we know now who refers to the one who sees and knows, the one with wise attention, not for the one who is having unwise attention, and it is for the one who is having wise attention. So the one who is having wise attention knows what is anicca as anicca, dukkha as dukkha, anatta as anatta, and asubha as asubha. So they see the nature as it is. So this Sabbaswa Sutta is for a person like that. So there are 7 types, 7 steps in this process. I will just go for the list. So the restraint of all the taints that should be abandoned by seeing. We call that dasanena pahataba. Dasanena means seeing. Seeing means seeing with your eyes or seeing with your wisdom. Wisdom, wise attention. Seeing refers to wise attention. So we talk about the nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So that includes in the section of seeing. Restraining, using, enduring, avoiding, removing, and developing, or by meditation. So the taints that should be removed by seeing should only be removed by seeing, not by any other means. So understanding the nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, it can be done only by seeing the true nature. There's no other way that you can remove those taints. Restraining, using, enduring, avoiding, removing, and meditation. So the meditation, it is in the 7th point, last point. So for you to go to meditation, there are 5 factors in the middle that you need to consider, and that will be your homework. Earlier I told that there are no homeworks, but this is your homework. So that is how we are going to train your mind to meditation. Okay, so let's go one by one and quickly see what is in. So taints that should be abandoned by seeing, dasanena pahataba. We talk about it, anicca, dukkha, anatta, and the 4 noble truths. We already discussed about all these things. So the noble truths of suffering, noble truth of the cause of suffering, noble truth of the cessation of suffering, and noble truth of the path toward cessation of suffering. We discuss about this. So I will just quickly take one example so that you can have some sort of idea. So why do you laugh when you see this? Has these things happened to you? So when you buy a brand new phone, and what is your imagination? What is your wish that you have in your mind?
No brakes.
No brakes at all. So here you have the first picture. In your mind, you always want to have it in that way, don't you? Here. The phone in your mind. So as when you go for a brand new phone, when you have that in your hand, you have an imagination about the phone. How? Tell me your imagination about it. Doesn't break, okay. Looks so shining, nice. In the way that exact way that you bought it. And as you hold the phone in your hand, you hold not it only with your hand, but you have a copy in your mind. But this copy, this one in your hand goes the process of changing. But how about the one in the mind? It's not like that. It is always in the brand new level. And that is your imagination about. You can apply anything instead of the form. Anything and everything you can put instead of this. So we have that imagination in our mind. It is the brand new, the best one ever. But the one at hand is not like that. So it is, we know that the nature of changing is there, but we can't avoid that. It is a principle in this nature. So anything is liable to change, decay, and like we can't do anything for that. But the problem is the imagination, the imaginary form that we have in our mind is not like that. It should always be the same. The better, the one in our mind, it should be getting better and better every time. But it's not like that. It is not happening in reality. Okay, so knowing this nature is called the noble truth of suffering. So when you understand this, do you get any suffering? When you understand this reality, do you get any suffering? No. So that is why we call it noble truth of suffering. Noble truth of suffering is not suffering. This noble truth of suffering is the way that you look at the process of suffering with wisdom. That is why we call it the noble truth of suffering. So Lord Buddha has taken 4 incalculable number of eons to understand this theory, philosophy. So it is something that we have never heard before. So what is the cause of suffering? Is a craving for the mental fabrication. You really crave it. You crave for that. You want to have it achieved somehow or the other, which is not going to happen like that. And we try to get that mind-made gratification from the external means. So now, all this time we discuss with so many examples about this nature of anicca. And the cessation of suffering. So cessation of craving is the cessation of suffering. It is itself the cessation of suffering. So when you understand how this process of attachment is happening, you know the way you go. So when we were small, we did some puzzles. Do you remember? Like one is standing there, and the cat is there, the cheese is there, and the mouse is there. You need to find the way for the cat to go to the rat. Do you remember when you were small, you were doing that? So when you find the way for something, when you know how it is happening, how the process of attachment is happening, then you know how it happens. So when you know how it happens, that means you know how to reverse that too, by removing the cause. When you remove the cause, the effect will be also removed, diminish, vanish. And the path towards cessation of suffering, it starts with right view. That is the understanding of the true nature of this existence. So one who has this understanding of the true nature of existence, I know these words may be big for you, but don't worry. If you have this understanding, all these things happen. So if you have the understanding of the true nature of existence, do you think anything else? No. So that is called the right thought. When you have the right view, You have the right thought actually, because you think in that line then. So now you change the line, thought pattern. Earlier you were thinking, oh my God, why is this happening to only to me? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? So many complaints. You think that suffering comes because of the other people, from the external things, because of that, because of them. But when you understand the true nature of this existence, we know that mind-made gratification is a problem. So when you understand that, maybe some at the first place you get angry, sad, or some things can happen, but later on, at least maybe 1 hour, maybe 1 day or 1 month, even after the incident, you'll remember, oh, what did I do? I did something wrong. So that is the right thought. And when you have the right thought, do you speak something else? No, when you have the right thought, right speech comes. So all the steps all comes according to that. So need not to worry about these steps too much at this moment, at this level. So just be sure about the right view. That is why we took all this time to get so many examples from your lives to see whether you got that understanding. Okay, the number 2. Taints that should be abandoned by restraining. Restraining. So taints, there are 7 steps. We talked the first step. Taints that should be removed by seeing. That is the understanding of the Anicca Dukkha Anatta. That is number 1. This is number 2. Taints that should be removed, abandoned by restraining. Okay, there's quite a lot, but I will just go to the examples and pictures so that you can understand better. Okay. Restraining. You have only 6 senses. So you will have to restrain only 6 senses. Only these 6 senses. Actually, we have only 6. So we create all these mental fabrications using anything other than these 6 senses, or all we do with these 6 senses. All the problems that we create with these 6 senses. Why? You want to please your eye. Not enough seeing pictures. You think that seeing things, seeing beautiful sceneries, seeing beautiful things, people, and all these things giving you happiness. Watching movies, how many things you watch? And when you do the computer games, play games, that also you want to place your eyes, don't you? You want to see that car racing, and if you have like going to the target, so that is what you want to see. You want to see it is going to the target. And you think that when the car goes to the target, you also go to the target. Car goes to the target and you go away from the target. Isn't that so? We just do these things for fun. But in reality, we want to please our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Don't we do all this, all the effort? Like, what do you call by living? What do you call by living? No, what do you mean by living? Actually, what do you do when you say that you live? What do you do? Anything else that you do other than placing 6 senses? No. Other than being a slave to these 6 senses, anything else that you do? No. You are being a slave of these 6 senses. Because now this eye says, look more, get some more pictures, do more games, go to this place, go to this scene, go to see these movies. Your eye says that, and you're obedient to that. When you say these things, I'll be very happy that my eyes can be make so pleasurable. So I should go. I should do that. Okay. And then you are a slave. So you listen to what the eye says and you go behind as a slave. And how about the ear? Are you now enough of listening to things? Finish listening all the songs and everything? So when you play these games, what if the sound is switched off? Do you get that kick? The car racing, and the sound doesn't come. Do you get the thrill? For you to get that feeling, the sound also should be there. So, so for you to please the eye, you get the ear also involved, helping. So when you dance, if suddenly the music goes off, what do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel great? No. You want the music also going as a push. And the nose, tongue, body, and mind. So don't you go behind to satisfy all the things that these senses need, ask from you? You go behind them. So when you understand the true nature of this race, we call the rat race of life. When you understand the nature of this race, you gradually start restraining these six senses, don't you? As much as you start seeing the futile nature of this process of attachment, process of going behind gratification, it gradually reduces, not just tomorrow reducing. It will take time. So that is why we say this is homework for you. So now how can you just try this in a daily situation? Initially, the density of this will reduce initially. So now think of a situation like if you are so much addicted to the computer games, now you forget everything at home, your studies or whatever things, and so those who play games. Okay. I know every one of us do certain level. Okay. Sometimes, like the worst situation, sometimes like we tend to forget everything at home and do only the game. So initially that will reduce. Okay. So initially that density will reduce. So then you will remember, not only playing the game. I have my duties and responsibilities. I have commitments to my house, to my parents. I need to help my parents. So this game is not my whole life. So that is how you gradually start detaching from that. Okay. So then when you have that understanding, you will go and help with your parents. So then that their burden will also reduce, and you will also like in a good way, you try to settle these transactions. Do you remember at a house, there's a transaction. So if you don't help your parents, and then that problem, it is not solving. Because like everyone should help each other, because not helping parents is going to give you more problems, because like the quality of the parents is great, because they have because like if you don't have your parents, how can you come to this world? Is there any way that you can come to this world? No, there's no way. So that is why like the Lord Buddha has mentioned the 5 deadly sins. 5 deadly sins: shedding blood of Lord Buddha, killing an arahant, killing mother, killing father, and disturbing the harmony of Sangha. It doesn't happen from you. It happens only from a monk. So mother and father, killing mother and killing father, Lord Buddha has put the mother and father in the topmost level. So helping, so the negative one is also there, but the positive one also the same. But if you help your parent, the merits you get is so much. Not actually like the So the transactions. So you like dealing it with them in a good way. So as you understand things gradually, the senses start restraining slowly. And there are 18 components. I told about this earlier session, but I didn't have the slide at that moment. So you know these 6 parts: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. These are the external, the internal 6 faculties. And images, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thoughts. So those are the compatible external things. With eye, you see pictures, and ear, you hear sound, nose, you smell, taste, touch, and thoughts. For the thoughts, we use the word Dhamma also. It is not the Buddha Dhamma. It is another word for the thoughts. They are stored in the universe as, we call that as Dhamma, Mana Dhamma. Okay, but for now, you can think that mind and thoughts, that's fine. And what are these? Visual consciousness, auditory consciousness. You had to be conscious to know about consciousness. Okay. What are these things? What do you mean by a visual consciousness? What do you mean by consciousness? Being awake, aware. Sorry? So the consciousness is the information that you gather by seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and as a form of thoughts. So there are so many information that you received so far through your eyes, don't you? So all this information is stored. The things we did, the ways we behaved, the things we listened, heard, like all this information is stored in the we have, let's say, a memory. We have this data, let's say a database. So for you to, how can you recognize that this is a phone? You see this with your eyes, and quickly it refers to your visual consciousness. This shape, this color, this is a phone. And like, have you been to UK? No. But have you heard about UK? Yes, you have heard about UK, and think that next month you will be going to UK. So if you're going to UK next month, you will be finding some information from the internet, and you get some better idea. But if you directly go to UK after another 2 months, then you will see it for yourself. So then your visual consciousness, it is stabilized. You heard the information earlier, you have watched things from internet, and now you already went there and experienced and saw the things there. So at any time when someone says about UK, do you have a sound idea about it? So that your visual consciousness, it is confirmed. Okay. And it is the same thing with ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So when we come here, like we experienced some different food. We have no idea. In the time, like we had ate something like some spongy thing. I don't know the name. That people said that they make this food for the summer. Yeah? I don't know the name. It's like middle, very soft, something. Yes. Yes, yes. That's it. So, okay. So we have no idea, like as the first time we saw that, we have no idea what it is. It's something very new. And then some people that got to know, this food is unique to this country. During the summer, they prepare this. It's a sweet. They have given so many clues. So then when we ate, we explained, yes, it is sweet. So like now we have an idea about it. And now only I heard that name. Okay. So are there experiences like that? That your visual and the olfactory, gustative, all these things now established regarding that specific food. So how does a child knows an ice cream for the first time? So when we go out one day, we saw that parents, there's a small child, that this father is like putting that ice cream cone to his mouth. But this child is doing, take his mouth away, pushing his father's hands away. He takes his mouth away. But they still kept on, right? But the child didn't eat. But what if like the mother took a little from his hand and put his in his tongue? Then that is how he gets the taste information for the very first time. So if that is, so that how the addiction starts. So then when he grows up, as soon as he sees an ice cream parlor, he will cry for an ice cream. But initially, he didn't have any idea how an ice cream would look like, feel like, taste like. So these are information for consciousness. So, okay. So we have 18 components. Internal 6, external 6, and the 6 consciousness. So altogether, these 18 components, are there any greed, aversion, or delusion related to these 18 components? Yes or no? If you say yes, you have to say, tell me why you say yes. If you say no, you have to tell me why you say no. No? Okay, why you say no? Everything has a taste, it doesn't. Great, yes. It is a nature of things, yes. So it's like neutral? Neutral, yes, very good. So they are like, if this 18 components going to have defilements, then Lord Buddha also would have defilements, because like Lord Buddha also can see, recognize things, people. Then how can Lord Buddha say, come Ananda, come Sariputta? How Lord Buddha can talk to these monks? And how Lord Buddha can find his way to in the alms round? There's no way. So all these 18 components responsible for the purpose of recognition, and that's it. And there's no defilements related. So mind thoughts. So mind plays a major role. So no inbuilt gratification in any of these 18 components. So if there's no gratification in these 18 components, will there be any suffering in these 18 components? No. So then how do we get the suffering? That's a problem. We create it by ourselves. So there is an ancient Sinhala tradition, Sinhala saying. I don't know the English one. Okay, I know this. I think I know the English one. Let the sleeping dogs lie. Have you heard that proverb? Let the sleeping dogs lie. In Sinhala, we say, ahaka inna nai, ඇගේ දාගෙන කෑව කෑව කියන්න එපා කියනවා. Let the sleeping dog lie means the dog is sleeping. So, but what do we do? You just hit, poke him and when we just to hit him, like point with the finger, and we try to wake the dog up, then it gets angry and he bites us. What if we let the dog sleep? What if we let the sleeping dogs lie? So think that the snake is there like it is slowly going somewhere, and you take that snake and put on our body, and that snake starts biting you all everywhere. So haven't you taken an unnecessary trouble to yourself? So this 18th compass, there's no problem. But we are the people who take these unnecessary troubles inside. So do we sleep at night keeping all the doors and windows open? Letting all the dogs, snakes, robbers, thieves to come inside? No. We keep our doors and shutters closed at night. Even the daytime, if it is like we are in the kitchen, we close the things front door. We don't invite unnecessary troubles. So what if we close these gates? That is called restraining, number 2. The taste that should be restrained by, removed by restraining. So what if we keep these doors shut? Keeping doors shut means you still see the pictures, you get the information, but you don't go behind. Just for the sake of recognition, all these 18 components work. And that is the nature of Arahant. But we at least try to understand that there is something like that. Don't you feel like it is itself a relief? Because there's no defilement. Like, is there any mental suffering is somewhere mentioned here? No. Actually, according to this philosophy, do you think is there any room for mental suffering? No, zero. There's no room for mental suffering. But can we create mental suffering? Yes, we can create a lot of mental suffering as much as we are ignorant about the true nature. So one who understands that there is no inbuilt gratification or any suffering related to these 18 components, you are those getting restrained gradually. So these include the taints that are removed by restraining. That is number 2. So now look at your doors. Are they closed or open? We can see the pictures. So you some forcefully open your eye and see things. So let's see. How about the tongue? How it is fired with greed, aversion, and delusion. All these bottom 6. Don't you become what do you call this rookade? What do you call it in English? Puppets. Ah, yes, puppets. Aren't you a puppet of your mind? Aren't we puppets of our mind? We act according to what our mind says, but we can take the control for ourselves, can take control over the mind by it can be done only by understanding the true nature, not as like you said about stilling the mind. There's no way that we can still the mind. Yeah. As you told earlier, but still in the mind, there's no way that we can still the mind. Only the process of understanding make your mind still. That happens as a result of mastering the understanding. Okay? So do you all do these things? Yeah. So you're creating fire. What are the 3 fires that we have? Greed is a fire, aversion is a fire, and delusion is a fire. So you're burning with 3 fires as we are in the process of attachment. So when we went to the beach yesterday, we saw people like jumping from parachutes. Maybe like they have trained for that, but the human life. So what happens like if by any mistake, by an accident, if something has happened and if that person fell down and died, we just wasting, just playing with this valuable, hardly gained human life. Actually, we were talking like, oh my God, like they don't see the value of this life. We don't know like this very little time can do a change, a big change in life. Just fell down and just died. Who knows? Taints that should be abandoned by using. So there are 4 types. I'm going to answer your question now. So there are 4 requisites. What are the 4 requisites for ourselves? The basic needs. We know this one thing: clothes, food and water goes to one category. Clothes, food, shelter, and medicine. Those are the 4 requisites. So the taints abundant by using, it includes these 4 requisites. Let's see how Lord Buddha told about using. Okay, now this one you will have to read. So what taints bhikkhus should be abundant by using? So here a bhikkhu reflects wisely. You know the wise attention. Bhikkhu who reflects wisely uses the robe, and for you, the clothes, only for protection from cold, for protection from heat, for protection from the contact with gadflies, mosquitoes, and all these insects, and biting from snakes and everything, and only for the purpose of concealing the private parts. So it's like we wear clothes for that purpose, but we have to think whether we wear the clothes only for that purpose. So that is the purpose of wearing a cloth and nothing else. So for a monk, we call the 8 requisites, the Atapirikara. So a monk lives with that. And if monk gets something else other than that, and as a result of being non-great, that's all. That's how Lord Buddha got a luxurious palace-like place to live, the Jetvanarami. So look at your cupboard. This is your cupboard. Maybe like how many clothes that you have that you have not used for months or ages. Are there clothes like that? Yeah. So why don't you give away the things that you are not using anymore? You keep them out of greedy. One day I will be able to wear it, but you have not worn it for 1 year, 2 years. Do you have those clothes that you used to wear when you were small? Some people collect those clothes also. When you were 2 years, you keep it as a memory. So if you give that cloth to someone else, the child, they will use it. So we use clothes only for that purpose. So as you understand gradually, okay, so think of these beautiful dresses that in this cupboard. So why do you change the clothes all the time? So the dress that you wore to the party this time, you won't wear it in the next time. Why do we do that? You want to look, you want to outshine among the group, among the peers, among the friends. You want to be smart, look beautiful, you look great. Don't you feel that? Isn't that the purpose that we change the clothes so often? Even though we have beautiful ones in the cupboard, if there's a function, you need to buy a new one.
Yeah, those are even awesome. Why are you wearing the same?
Sorry?
Those are even awesome. Why are you wearing the same?
Ah, you're afraid of that. Why let the other people ask you wear the what you want? So next time you can do the test. You can wear the same old one. Then if someone asks, you face for that. If someone tells you, you wore it in the last time too. So then this is a test for yourself. So think, face for that and think, what are the things going inside your mind? Are you disturbed with the comment that other people make? Or you can just smile and be there like that. So it's a test for yourself. The next one, arms, foot. Okay. Reflecting wisely, he uses alms food neither for amusement or intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the endurance and continuance of the body. Okay, so these physical exercises, activities also include in this category. So you do eat food or whatever the things just for the purpose of living, keeping your body continuing, ending discomfort. So earlier you were hungry and you couldn't focus because there's some discomfort. But when you had your meal, you feel now, you feel comfortable? Yes, you are not hungry anymore. So you eat with that purpose for assisting the holy life. So now, holy life. So now you listen to this. So you had that food. That's why I asked you to give merits for the food and eat. Someone bought this food. So you use that food, eat that thing, and you listen to this discussion now. So monk always do that. And considering I shall terminate all feelings without arousing new feelings. What is that? What does that mean? I eat this, I shall terminate all feelings without arousing new feelings. Okay, so you all had pizza today. Okay, so when you were having that, so you can eat like this. So today I got this pizza from someone who has given alms for us. So you can eat whatever you got to this reduce the discomfort. And you can eat like this too. This piece is not good. It is like, it's not cheesy, or it is not that tasted. Last time we had a very delicious one. Don't know who brought this. Who, like, he could have brought this pizza from that shop. It tastes more. So, have you terminated the all feeling? No, you are arousing that. And you think next time we should try one from that shop. That gives more taste. Like my friend that told that they have taken pizza from there and they're really great. So can you eat in that way also? So now there's two ways. From both ways, do you feel get your stomach full? Yeah. So when you eat in the second way, you get your stomach full and also you fill your lockers too. Do you know what are the lockers? What? 84,000 types of lockers. You get extra bonus to go to 4 hills while eating. Okay, so don't we do these things when we eat? So when you eat, when you go home, and when if some mother has prepared something, when there's no salt, oh, how can we eat this? There's no salt. If we drink your tea, so now you are in the age that you can prepare your own tea. So why you should trouble your mother? So if that mother makes that tea for you, if your mother makes a tea for you, you complain, no sugar, no milk, no tea leaves, that is not enough. So some days, actually, there's something that you need to remember when we talk about the food. For the purpose of living, we need to have the nourishment to the body. The salt and the level of sugar and everything should be in the what do you call, the optimal level that will help you to function your body, brain, and the nervous system. If you don't get not enough salt or sugar, that your brain doesn't work properly. So for that purpose of functioning properly, you need to have these things in the optimal level. That should be there. But what we talk here now, the craving part. Craving part is a problem. If you're hungry, you just eat. There's no problem in that. And if you're hungry, if you have like you're hungry a lot, you can eat any amount you want. But you should have that only to like reduce that discomfort, for ending discomfort. So think of your favorite food. Okay. Think that if the pizza is your favorite food. So now today you had that. Now you have had pizza so many times so far in this life. Now are you enough now? Enough. I'm now satisfied. I don't want pizza anymore. Is that so? No. But why did you stop eating now today? If you eat too much, it's a discomfort for your body. You stop because of that, not because like you're craving it. But here, what Lord Buddha says is, eat whatever you have now at this moment without craving. You think that this is just for the purpose of survival. So if you train yourself to do that, now like, so we do all these things, all these jobs and all hardships. What is the purpose of doing all these things? Just to survive, eat, drink, and live life and die. That's all we do. But what if our cravings are low? Do we have to work so hard day and night and earn a lot of money? No, our cravings reduce means our needs, like we would not go much for the wants. We try to satisfy with the needs, with the minimal level. So then you will have more time for yourself too. With much relaxation, you can do whatever you do with happily. The juggling balls reduce. So these form of, do you have these form of balls when you juggle balls? Footballs, do you have not football? Do you have balls about food?
Oh.
Imaginary balls, we talk. So you are the people know about your words. Okay.
What? Oh,
Juggling balls. We refer the juggling balls to the imaginary worlds.
Oh, yes.
So you have imaginary worlds about food.
Oh.
So you have to have wise attention. Okay. So resting place, monastery or the house that we live. Okay. Right. So let's have a look at this. Reflecting wisely, he uses resting place only for the protection from cold, protection from heat, protection from contact with gadflies, mosquitoes, wind, sun, creeping things, and only for the purpose of warding off the perils of the climate and for easing retreat. What is the purpose of using? So now in this environment, sometimes you might feel a bit cold, hot. Okay, so having something is good. So like you need not to suffer. But even though you have this fan, like you feel some sort of heat there. Maybe you feel a little bit in discomfort, but you are enduring that. Why? What is the purpose? Easing retreat. That means like at this moment, you need to listen to this. So when you go somewhere to some other place, say that you go to stay with one of your friends for 1 week. So is it like, do you get all the comfortabilities like you stay at home? No. So when you go there, you just adjust to that situation. Because like when you stay at one place, you think, okay, I'm there only to use this place. Okay, so now do you live in your house? Okay, do you own that house? Who owns that house? Parents? Who says that parents own that house?
Government.
Who says the government own that house? Huh?
Yeah, the law.
Sorry? Agreement? Agreement, okay. It is just a house that you live in. So if that is your house and you got it from an agreement, and if it is given by the government, if you own house or your father owns that house, he should take that house when he go. Can they take the wealth that they have when they go? That means die? No.
You can still own the house, right?
No, I mean like for you to live,
Physically take it.
yeah, for you to live, like there should be some sort of legal document that I'm not talking about that. It's like owning with the mind. Yeah. So in that sense, we all just the borders. Have you stayed in a boarding place or like in a hostel? Yeah. So do you own the hostel? No, now we are no more in the hostel. We stayed in boarding places, in hostels. Now some other people stay in there. We don't own that. We just stay there for the purpose. So when you stay there somewhere in just for that purpose, you just do the purpose and we just come. We don't try to go and get the authority or ownership in that place. We just do the job and we just come. Here, a monk or bhikkhu or even all these lay people, Lord Buddha says, use the resting place only for that purpose of having a peaceful stay, protection from cold, heat, and protection from, like if you don't have the doors and windows, the creepers or the insects, they come inside. Is it a problem? It is difficult for us. So what if we close these doors and windows and we live in a house? So it gives us a protection and it's fine. And that is the whole purpose of living in a house or in a monastery. Okay. So if for us to have these minimal qualifications satisfied, do we need to have a big house, palace-like house? No. Wherever these minimal qualifications completed, and that is the place that you can stay. So when you go there, or think that if you have to shift your house from this house to another house, that the new house you get is not that good as the one you had. So then you'll have to worry, oh, that my room is big, the earlier one, now I have a very small one, I will have to share a room, I don't like. So these things happen. But if we try to contemplate on this, so this is the place that I have to live right now, so I will be in this place. Okay. So the next one, Gilampasa and the medicine. And that we use the medicine only for the protection from arising, afflicting feelings and the benefit of good health. So why do we get medicine? Yeah, to get cure of any physical or whatever difficulty that we have. But sometimes people use medicine to make us beautiful. Like some people get some people get injections to make them look them fair. Do you know that? Some people get injections to make them look them fair. And some medicine they eat, unnecessary medicine they take to vitamins and all these beauty tablets and everything. And for you to live a general healthy life, you need to have exercises. Okay, Dulina, like we need some exercises to live a general healthy life. But now you have to think, why do you go to gym? Like you want to go to gym to get 6 packs and to look like the Superman, like, oh, I'm the hero. So if you go there with that purpose, so then you have to think twice, why do I do that? When I go to the gym, I make a lot of friends. So why do I go there? So it's something that we need to think twice. But if you really enjoy now going to gym, you can continue, no problem. You can go until you understand this. There's nothing that you should remove forcefully. This is nothing about removing anything forcefully. Everything should be it takes time for everything. So gradually, as you understand, now you're hearing this for the first time. Like, has anyone told you about such a thing earlier about going to the gym? No. Okay, so you are hearing this for the first time. So this is a food for the mind. So you can think of it. So until you feel the purpose of it, we will just go for that. No problem. So one day you will understand, what should I do right now? Okay, so until at that, not only gym, anything, it is the same. But we have to remember, we need to be careful about the duties and responsibilities. We cannot like take them for granted. These things, what are the things you have to do. And the other things, like they have to do in a balance. Okay, but for us to live a general healthy life, we need some sort of exercises. That this is not about that. Okay, so that was number 2, 3, and this is number 4. Taints that should be abandoned by enduring. And what does it mean by enduring? What does that word mean? What taints bhikkhus should be abandoned by enduring? Here, like bhikkhus, reflecting wisely bears cold and heat, hunger and thirst, contact with gadflies, mosquitoes, wind, sun, creepers, etc. So, what are these things? Ill-spoken, unwelcome words, and arise in bodily feelings that are painful, sharp, piercing, disagreeable, distressing, and maniac, what do you call this? Manacing to life. I don't know that word. So like it's like life-threatening pains. So cold and heat, hunger and thirst. So now here we have some sort of like heat. Reflecting wisely. So now at this moment you have this place is a bit heaty. So do you get discomfort or comfort with that? Discomfort. Right? So discomfort is related to what? Yes, about the 6 causes related to.
Our body.
Now the 6 causes: greed, aversion, delusion, and non-greed, non-aversion, delusion. Discomfort related to greed, aversion, and delusion. So if you have contributed people to listen to them in a comfort way, you will also get the same. So now here in this place, at this moment, you feel some sort of heat there. So it related to some negative cause that we all have created. But lucky that we have a fan, like some people get the cooling sensation. But we can now analyze the situation. So do you remember the very first day we didn't have any fans? Do you remember that? But now we have a fan. But see, now this time you're getting still heat is there, but now you get some sort of comfort too. So every time there is the theory of cause and effect comes into action. Not always negative, not always positive, but it depends on the situation. At this time, you get some discomfort, but also getting some comfort too. So mixture of the causes, nothing else. So when you understand this, now can you endure that heat better? Can you endure that heat better? It doesn't mean that you will have to sweat everywhere and don't find for a fan. It is not like that. If you can look for a fan, you can do that. But if there's no fan available, then you just endure it, thinking that this is a result of a negative cause. And hunger and thirst, it's the same. And contact with mosquitoes, and sometimes the mosquitoes are there, flies are there. Do you remember that we discussed about the same example earlier? It's a theory of cause and effect again. Some people get disturbed by mosquitoes and some people not. Okay, theory of cause and effect again. And what is this? Here, look here, this is important. Ill-spoken, unwelcome words. What does that mean? You will have to endure ill-spoken or unwelcome words. Scolding, shouting at you. Okay. So many problems happening at houses, workplaces. He shouted at me. Like, how can he shout? How can he raise voice for me? How dare he is to do that? Don't you think like that? Do you like such words? Do you like such words? No, none of us like those words. But if we have called someone like that, don't we get the return? Again, the theory of cause and effect. The most important thing is, like, you know, we just before we discuss all these 18 components, it doesn't relate to any defilements. All they are neutral. So what do you mean by a scolding? Actually, what are the characteristics of a sound? You get some level of loudness, then frequency, some wavelength or whatever. It is just a wave and it commits some energy. That's all. So if someone talking you nicely, lovingly, that means the features changing to someone level. Shouting means that the frequency changing to some another level. That is why how you define it shouting and speaking softly. But in the bottom line, we all just hear a sound. But there's no gray diversion or delusion or like anything really inbuilt gratification or any hatred in the sound. But we give judgment to what we hear. So, like, why do we get to hear these unwelcome words? What is the reason that we get to hear these unwelcome words? Yes? Yes. The things that we have, we have scalded the same thing, same way to same people. Do you know the story of Ambapali? Ambapali is a prostitute in the time who has understood the Dhamma in the time of Lord Buddha. Do you know why that Ambapali became a prostitute? What is the reason? In another time of another Lord Buddha in the past, Ambapali also was a nun. And there's a group of nuns were worshipping a stupa and they were walking around that stupa. And in that group of nuns, there was a nun who has attained, who was an arahant. And by an accident, that that arahant, that bhikkhuni, the nun has coughed, and she, by mistake, some piece of like saliva just like put in the nicely cleaned sand. And this Ambapali, in that life, she was also a nun. She saw that. Actually, she has not seen it at that moment, and she was also walking around. And that time only she saw that there's some split, like some saliva on the sand. Then at that time she told who the prostitute has split on the sand. That is the word she said. Who the prostitute had split on this beautiful sand. So as a result of that word itself, because like, you know, that if you give something to an arahant, you get uncountable number of gains. But if you scold an arahant, see, now by mistake that happened, but she scolded an arahant saying that word. So as a result of that, so many lifetimes she was born beautiful because she was walking around the stupa. For that good thing, she get good results. She could get the Dhamma, but she has born as a prostitute so many lives. So we have to, that is why I say we are the creator of your own destiny. Our thoughts, words, and actions, they matter. So we can't just neglect the words we say. Now think of the words that you tell to your parents. Do you scold your parents? Sometimes when you're angry, sometimes you might scold your parents. So think of the words that you use. So it is very dangerous. So like you scold your parents when your parents also scold you because you don't like to hear these ill-spoken words. You think that they are ill-spoken words, but they tell these things for your own good. But sometimes we take these words as ill-spoken or unwelcome words. Okay, right. So now you know what are the things that you need to endure. And there's one other example. How about this? Arise in bodily feelings that are painful, very sharp, piercing, red feeling, very unbearable feelings, physical pain. There's one story. Okay. Like unspoken, like you are sick and like eating mosquitoes, you're in pain. So, advice to Anathapindikar. Anathapindikavada Sutta. I will just quickly tell the story. So, this Anathapindika was the greatest donor of the Buddha Sasana. Now he has become very old and now he is very sick. And the Honorable Venerable Sariputta and Anatha went to see Anathapindika. And at that time, they are talking. So now this Anathapindika saying, I'm not keeping well, Honorable Sariputta. I'm not getting by. I'm not curing. The pain is terrible and growing, not fading. It is growing, not it's fading. It is evident. So it is really painful, he says. Now he describing the pain. I hope you can see the words, right? You can just read this and see. The winds piercing my head is so severe. It feels like strong man drilling into my head with a sharp point. Drilling into your head with a sharp point. I get such a pain. The pain in my head is so severe. It feels like a strong man tightening a tough leather strap around my head. Tough leather strap. It's like two strong men pushing his head with a very tough leather strap around my head. The wind slicing my belly are so severe. It's like a deft butcher of their were slicing open a cow's belly with a meat cleaver. It's like a butcher, like slicing a cow. The wind that comes to your belly is so piercing. It's so painful. The burning in my body is so severe. It feels like two strong men grabbing a weaker man by the arms to burn him on a pit of glowing coals. It's like two strong men pulling that a person on a very hot pit of cold. So it's so painful that how severe the burning in my body is. I'm not keeping well, Honorable Sariputta. I'm not getting by. The pain is terrible and growing, not fading. It's growing, not fading. It is evident. So now, so can you understand how painful is the situation of this Anathapindika? Can you understand the pain? It's so like, what if someone puts you in a pit of coal, burning coal? What if someone drills your head with a sharp point? It's very painful. And this is a pain that this Anathapindika is experiencing right now. But now see the answer. Can you read this answer? That is why. Can you read that one louder, please? That is why, housekeeper, you should train like this. I shall not grasp the eye. I shall be no consciousness of mind dependent on the eye. That is how you should train. So now think of a situation that you are very sick and you get a very strong, so like Putta, you said that you got your hand cracked. Okay, was it so much painful? It's so painful. Like you all think of the worst illness that you all ever had. Think of the worst physical pain you had. So now you were telling to someone, you think your mother or like someone who come to see you, you say, now they ask, how do you feel? Then you say, it's very painful. I can't even move my hand. You like tell your pain. But what if that person says, that is why you should train your eye. That is why you should train your ears. So if someone tells you as that as the answer, how would you feel? You will say some good words to him, right? In return. What I is saying. So this I am in such a big pain. But now see, the great elder Sariputta telling these words to him. So what is the meaning of this? Yes, you experience this pain. And that is why you should train your eyes. Because whatever the feeling that you have, you will die anyway. But you will have to be mindful about the fact that you need to restrain the doors. So do you think that at the time you are going to die, you will remember these things? But luckily, this Anathapindika has got this Venerable Sariputta to tell these things, remind these things. So that is why you are learning these things now. If you keep on practicing these things, gradually you will understand these things. And do you know the guarantee that a person who has attained the stage of Sotapanna will get? At the time of deathbed, at the time of death, so many people death like insane people. So many people, they cannot face the death. They do all the mad things because like they know like everything in the world are so precious. That is the unwise attention. But the one who is with wise attentions know the realistic nature of this existence. So at the time of death, they will remember this nature and not anything else. And that is the guarantee. So the last thought, you know, the chuti, we talk about the death and the chuti. So at the time of chuti or at the time of death, a person who attained the stage of Sotapanna definitely remembering the nature of anicca. Whatever the level of physical discomfort they undergo, they are remembering this nature. And when you remember this nature, you will definitely, if someone has understood, he might have completed the path. We don't know. And that is why this learning is important. So your death moment will be guaranteed, secured. You all get insurance, life insurance. Do you have life insurance? So can a life insurance prevent you from dying? No. Can a life insurance prevent you, like make your last thought secured? No. But can the nature of anatta can secure your last moment thought? Yes. That is the guarantee, and that is the best insurance. And you are getting that. Okay. So the things that you should avoid by abandon by avoiding. Okay. So wild elephant, wild horse, wild bull, wild dog, snake. So if we know that is like when we walk on the road, we see a beautiful like elephant. But we know it's a wild elephant. But do we going to go and cuddle that elephant? No. When you walk on the road, you see a dog. It's look like the dog type of a dog that you like. But are you going to pet that dog? No, because you don't know. Like we have to avoid ourselves from these unnecessary troubles. This talks about unnecessary troubles. And here it says some things like that. Wisely, he avoids sitting on unsuitable seats. What do you mean by unsuitable seats? Do you sit on your teacher's chair? Do you sit on your... So when a monk is there, do you sit above that? No. So these are the unsuitable seats and unsuitable resorts. What are the unsuitable resorts? Anywhere that greed, aversion, and delusion increase. That is an unsuitable resort. How about the clubs or like some other gatherings that you are not going to get any benefit? Okay, you know what I mean. And associating with bad friends. What is that? Associating with bad friends. Bad influence, bad friends. A bad friend is something or someone that takes you away from Nibbana. It not necessarily a person, it can be a person, but also it necessarily shouldn't be it is not only a person. But like if with your six senses, you are doing anything related to greed, aversion, and delusion. And that is the bad friend. How about the television? How about the YouTube? Are they good friends or bad friends? Of course, we have this discussion also in YouTube. So like it has good purposes too, but mostly we can get bad influence. Okay. So there's so much source of information. The internet is there, but you can get bad influence too. So here, at that point, you have to be very wise. You need to have the wise attention. What is the direction that I'm now driving towards? Am I associating bad friends and bad places? And am I going to the hell? Or should I associate good friends, good places? Like what are the good places? Maybe a temple, or maybe gathering, like maybe a gathering like this. So this bunch of people are good friends right now. But if you all meet in a, what you call, a nightclub, do you still call it a good friends? Good friendship? No, it's not like that. If someone is forcing you towards that direction, you should avoid that friendship. That friendship is not going to do good. Because if someone is going to drag you and pull you to the four hells, will you go? So can you, like, have you all experienced the heat of the, what do you call, steam? When the kettle is boiling, have you burnt your hand with that steam? Or else have you touched hot water and burnt your finger? When you have the hot water shower coming and it's too hot and you get yourself burned. No? Do you like that feeling? Everybody, do you like that feeling? No. So, but do you know the lowest level of the forehead? Lowest level, the temperature in the lowest level of forehead is, can you guess how much it is? How hot can be the lowest level in the foreheads? I mean the lowest, with the lowest temperature. Lowest temperature is 2000 Celsius degrees. So that is the lowest. You can enjoy more as you go down. But think, if someone is pulling you to go there, do you consider him as a good friend? No, you should avoid. You'd avoid that good friend and try if you can give the good message to your friend. But if he's not ready to accept, you just leave. You just leave. Don't be afraid to leave a bad friend. Try to help. But if he's not trying to accept that help, you don't hold that hand and go with him to the hell. Okay? Taints that should be abandoned by removing. Thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of ill will, arising thoughts of tease. What are these things? Let's start. Thoughts of sensual desire. To please the six senses, any desire, any thought that you get towards pleasing the six senses, we call the sensual desire. Thoughts of ill will. So when that desire is not going to answer, you get that hatred. Okay? And thoughts of tease, to make fun of. So like sometimes do you tease your friends? You enjoy teasing, but that person is not, doesn't like that. Sometimes like when that person is going to sit down, you go behind and just remove the chair. Don't you do those things? Friend is going to sit, you go behind and pull the chair, that he will fall down and you laugh. Okay. Don't you pull your sister's hair? Pull? No. Some people do. Right? And like when you just pass by, you just hit and go. But you do all these things just for fun. But that person doesn't don't like it. And when someone is making tea, don't you feel like I put in some salt inside?
No.
So here it talks about the thoughts on sensual desire, thoughts of ill will, and thoughts of tease. So these things should remove. Now listen carefully. This is your homework. So you need to remove these things, because are they going to help in the process of enlightenment? Do you know why these things are harmful? So this, you will understand the negative effect on this when you go to meditate. So when you close your eyes, all these thoughts coming inside, jumping, like, I did this, like so many things that you have thought of doing, all these things come inside, and it will be a huge disturbance for your meditation. And not only that, you don't stop here at the level of thought. You will go to the action. You will pull the chair when your friend is going to sit. So then, are you doing thoughts, words, and actions related to greed, aversion, and delusion, or non-greed, non-aversion, and non-delusion? Greed, aversion, and non-delusion. So do you know then where to go? So these things are not good, and these things should be abandoned by removing. And the last one, the taints that should be abandoned by meditating. So meditation is number 7. Okay. So there are 7 points. Actually, just don't worry about any of these 7 points. Okay. For you to come here, you will have 5 middle parts to practice at home. Okay. You need to practice all the 5 above points. Okay. So here the meditation is number 7. So you have the 5 middle parts you need to practice at home. So actually, what do you mean by practicing these middle 5 points? Actually, what is the practice that you have to do? There's only one thing you have to do. Only to practice the nature of anicca, dukkha, anatta in everyday situations. So when you practice this nature of anicca, dukkha, anatta, and as much as you are conscious about greed, aversion, and delusion, non-greed, non-aversion, non-delusion, the 6 causes, and as much as you interpret the life situations according to, based on the nature of anicca, dukkha, anatta and the theory of cause and effect, these middle 5 points gradually improve. But the points like enduring, avoiding, removing, you need to take some deliberate actions. Avoiding, removing bad friends, those things deliberately you need to do. And the whole process make you very easy for you as you master the nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta more and more. So now think of saying goodbye to a bad friend. You might feel it very difficult to do that. If there's a friend who is always pulling you to go to uh, a, a nightclub or something like that, it is not good. Okay, it is not going to do good for yourself and also to the other one. But as you gradually understand the nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, you will understand the futile nature of it. What is the use that I'm going to get when you in such situations? It is not something good that I'm going to gain. Okay. So when you have that understanding, that you are craving for, that will gradually reduce. I'm not now saying to stop anything forcefully, but everything will takes its own time. Give the own time. But what we need to do is to focus on the understanding. Okay. So are you all okay with this? Are you all okay with this? Yeah. Okay, so for us to talk about meditation, we need to have some sort of practice before that. So I thought of telling some things about meditation, but I think we can have it via Zoom discussion or YouTube. We can do it because like this basic thing we can never done via Zoom or YouTube. Because that should only be done in a live context like this, one-to-one, face-to-face live context. Then only I will see your expression and this energy connection is happening. The Lord Buddha also have this tall Dhamma in a live context only. Then only he gets to, like, the 5 hindrances. There are 5 hindrances. We call them Pancha Nivarana. The hindrances of the listener is diminished, fade away with the teachings of when the teacher is in front, present. So that energy connection works like that. So that is why I wanted to have one session before we go. I wanted to make sure that you all are doing good. You'll get benefited with this. So I hope you get some. Did you learn something new today? Did you get yourself refreshed? So that did you get some more idea about the nature of anicca, dukkha, anatta? Okay, so that's great then. Any more questions? So don't get upset or disappointed. You can like about the things that we like. I will have to tell the truth. So I'm telling the truth. Okay. So like don't worry about anything. So life, this Dhamma is for us to correct our lives. Okay. So don't regret about anything, what has happened, or like don't worry about anything too much. Will this happen to me? Will this? Don't worry about that too. Just be yourselves. So like at this moment, as I told you earlier, like if you were doing whatever things that you used to do, you can do whatever things you do to do. So, but you had to have the wise attention. I told you like the darkness and light, they can't stay together. Darkness and light, you can't stay together. Okay? And the truth and the false cannot stay together. So as long as you get closer to the truth, the false or the wrong thing will gradually leave you. You will don't have to forcefully do that. It will leave you. It's similar to the magnet that when the magnet removes, the iron particle just fell down. But when the magnet is there, can you pull the iron particles one by one? No, it's very hard. But if you take the magnet away, all these iron particles just very freely just fell down. So that magnet removing part happens as much as you practice the nature of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. But maybe at this moment, some things that we discussed here, you will find it really difficult. Oh my God, how can I do these things? You might feel like that. But don't take these things like that. So when the understanding grows, you will happily say goodbye to the things that now you can't even think of removing. So that is the miracle of this thing. So don't worry about that part now. It's like, so when you plant a seed, what you have to do? You want to make like if you have planted a seed with the purpose of getting the mangoes, what you have to do? Put water and look after the plant, give all the nutritions required. And how can you, is there any other way that you can get the mangoes from it? Can you go inside and say, give mangoes, give mangoes? Will it give mangoes? No. So what you all have to do is to put water, put all the fertilizer required, and eventually, and with time, gradually, it will become a tree, grow to a tree, and it will give fruits. So wait until it gives fruits. So what if you put water one week and then you leave the plant aside and you go and see the plant after 2 weeks, it has died. dried and died. So don't do that. When you keep practicing this means you put in water and you fertilize and you give shelter. So that is the practicing. So it will definitely give you fruits. So as you master these things, you will be able to, actually these things have already removed, then only you will realize, so now I don't have that craving. No. So I didn't go to whatever things that I used to do. I'm not doing these things now. No. See, I'm now very helpful to my parents and I'm doing good. You will start realizing and you will also actually surprised about it. Surprised about your change. Early, I was a person like that. But see, now a person used to worry a lot, too much early. But see, now I'm not worrying like that now. See how wonderful it is. You will start feeling it for yourself gradually. So let that happen. Okay? Right. So is there any questions? Are you all okay? Okay. Right. So okay, so Sarana everyone, then I will have some few messages for you also. And before that, let's all extend merits of the Dhamma discussions that we all have done today. And we'll do that thing. And after that, I will share you the messages. Okay. So everyone, all of you, close your eyes. Relax yourself. Take 2 deep breaths. May all the merits that we have accumulated so far during all these discussions we have conducted throughout, may with all the merits that we have accumulated by discussing the true nature of this existence, the noble teachings of the Lord Buddha, may all these merits that we have accumulated so far help our pathway towards enlightenment, brighten our pathway towards enlightenment. May with all these merits and good causes help and clear the path towards enlightenment. And with that strong resolve in mind, all of you say sadhu 3 times. May all these merits be extended to all devas and brahmas who have helped throughout for these discussions, and blessing everyone to have the things great to have these discussions and these situations going on as successful events. May all these merits be extended to all devas and brahmas, and may with all these merits, they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all these merits be extended to all those people who have helped us throughout this process, the people who have provided these places, the environment and the shelter, and the people who have provided you arms, food, and the drinks and everything, and especially the people who have organized these programs, and also the people who have helped you to come here, especially think of your parents and all the other, maybe the siblings or the relatives who ever have helped you throughout this process. And may all these merits be extended to all of them who have, whether we know or we don't know, who have helped even in minute ways. May all these merits extend to all of them, and may they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all these merits have extended to all of you, and may all of you get the strength, courage, to follow this path towards enlightenment and attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu with a strong resolve in mind. All of you say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So all of you stay, I will bless you all. Abhivadana silis nichang vada pachayino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayvano sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samichatu. May the noble triple gem bless you all. Dharma Saranam.